Test. Test, test.
Loud noise again. You can hear it, but the loud noise is there.
Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2.
Hello, testing. Hello, testing. 1, 2.
That's just the bottom line. Because we ended up doing these, because people were, they wouldn't get on the sidewalk. So they were walking on the road.
Okay, no problem. No.
It's, thanks for scamming the park. Sounds like I did not.
You learn for next year.
Yeah. Hopefully by next year I'll be lifting the park and just jump my golf cart. Won't be a problem.
Okay, that's the plan.
Yeah, but it was like, yeah, I'm 31 on the Robert. Back all the way up.
They said the first golf cart got there at 5:05 that morning.
Yeah.
5:05.
City Council met in executive session. There were no votes taken. We will now move into, is there a motion to come out of executive session? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? We'll now move into our regular meeting. Our invocation tonight is Assistant Pastor Mark, or, well, there you are, Mark, at Ocean Drive Presbyterian Church. Would you please come up?
Well, Mayor Hatley, thank you for the invitation to come and open the proceedings in prayer tonight. So grateful and thankful for that privilege and honor. So let us pray together. Our God is our refuge and strength, and ever-present help in times of trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging. The Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. The Lord foils the plans of the nations. He thwarts the purposes of the peoples, but the plans of the Lord stand firm forever, and the purposes of his heart through all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, and the people he chose for his inheritance. And now, our gracious and loving Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening with grateful hearts, for you have been so good and kind and faithful to us. We thank you for the city of North Myrtle Beach, for its beautiful location, its great people, and our faithful leadership. We ask for your protection and blessing on our wonderful first responders, all of our policemen and women, our firefighters, and our EMT personnel. May you empower and protect them and their families as they serve us so faithfully. We thank you for the proclamation on our public safety vehicles, and right here in this room, in God we trust. May it be so, Lord, at all times and in all places. And now, O Lord, we humbly ask you to be with these proceedings. Bless Mayor Hatley and our city council members with your guidance, direction, and wisdom. Speak clearly to them as they discuss the work of this very special city and as they make decisions that will affect our many businesses, vacationers, and our general population both now and in the coming years. And so may you pour out upon them in this proceeding the wisdom from above that you have promised to all who ask. And this I pray in the wonderful name of Jesus and by the power of your Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, in our packet, we have the city council minutes of the city council meeting on Monday, March the 3rd, 2025. and on the City Council Special Call Meeting on Monday, March the 10th, 2025. Is there a motion to accept as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, well, we're going to move into communications, and I have a proclamation that I would like to present for National Safe Place Week. And JQ, I'm going to meet you down here, and I'm going to ask Nikki to come with us because Nikki is a volunteer with Sea Haven and on the board of Sea Haven, and she works so hard to help the young people to move on with their lives and better their lives. So I'm going to ask her to come over here. This is National Safe Place Week. Whereas every young person deserves a safe and supportive environment in which to thrive, and our community is dedicated to ensuring the protection and well-being of our youth. And whereas Sea Haven Incorporated has been a beacon of hope for young people in crisis, serving as the designated Safe Place Agency for Horry County, and providing immediate help and supportive services to youth in need. And whereas National Safe Public Week observed from March the 16th to the 22nd, 2025, is a time to raise awareness about the importance of safe and accessible resources for youth facing homelessness, abuse, neglect, or other crises. And whereas Sea Haven will be hosting community events in recognition of National Safe Place Week to promote awareness and encourage community support for our young people. And whereas the city of North Myrtle Beach proudly stands in support of Sea Haven's mission and the vital role it plays in protecting and empowering the youth of our community. And whereas we extend our gratitude to the dedicated community partners, businesses, and organizations who work tirelessly to keep our city safe for youth and families, ensuring that every young person has the opportunity to reach their full potential. Now, therefore, I, Ellen Hatley, Mayor of the City of North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, do hereby proclaim that March 16th through the 22nd, 2025, as National Safe Place Week in North Myrtle Beach, and encourage all residents and businesses and organizations to recognize the significance of the initiative, support the efforts of Sea Haven, and work together to ensure that every young person in Horry County has access to safe resources and hope. I'd like to present this to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Thank you, everyone. On behalf of Sea Haven and all our partners, we just want to say thank you. Our fire chiefs, all our fire stations are safe place sites. So we just want to say thank you to the city. Thank you to everyone as we continue to be the beacon of hope for our future. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, you got it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, now we have recognition from our fire chief.
On Saturday, January 4th, 2025, just before 8 p.m., our fire department was dispatched for a residential structure fire off of Tarpon Pond Road in Charleston Landing. Prior to the arrival of our first fire engine, which was just a few minutes after the first 911 call, there were some brave citizens who sprang into action to help their neighbors in need. These brave individuals with no type of fire or emergency services training made a choice to place themselves in danger because they felt it was the right thing to do. The homeowner, Mr. Bob, had made his way out of the front door and quickly realized that his wife and dog were not behind him. Instinctively, he ran back inside to look for them, but he was quickly overcome by the flames, the heat, and the smoke. One of the neighbors ran onto the front porch, broke a window out near the front door so they could better get access to him and help him out of the home and away from danger. Mr. Bob's wife, Mary Lynn, had escaped out to the second floor porch on the back side of the home as she was unable to go downstairs inside due to the flames and smoke. Again, neighbors jumped in to get her attention, calm her down enough that they were able to convince her to jump down from the second floor where they were there to attempt to soften her landing as best as they could. She trusted them enough to do so, and they were able to minimize the impacts of her fall so that she could avoid any major injuries. She was quickly carried away back across the street where she was to await medical attention from our personnel who were arriving on scene. Both Mr. Bob and Mary Lynn were transported to the hospital to be checked out for smoke inhalation and to be treated for their injuries. We were able to pass along wonderful news to them that while they were in the ER, our fire personnel located their beloved dog Snickers hiding on the second floor porch outside, who was checked out and unharmed. There is, without the intervention of these brave individuals we are recognizing here tonight, the outcome of this incident could have been vastly different without their actions. Bob and Mary Lynn really wanted to be here tonight, but they're still both recovering from their injuries and were not able to make it. They want all of you to know how appreciative they are for your efforts and actions on that night. So please join me as we present the following with the Citizens Award of Valor from our fire department. Mr. Nick Hughes, Mr. Zach Walker, Ms. Shannon Walker, and Councilman Trey Skidmore.
Go on then.
That's. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Appreciate it.
All right.
You guys appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Council, we have our department's monthly reports for February 2025. They are also available online. Are there any questions that any council member has of the department heads tonight? Just thank you for the great job you do. Then we will move into announcements by mayor and city council. Does anyone have anything they'd like to announce except what a fantastic St. Patty's Day we had? That was just unbelievable. And Matt, we just thank your staff, and actually everybody's staff. Kevin, your staff, our police department, our fire department. It was just unbelievable how many people came and enjoyed themselves. It was just a sea of green all day long.
Absolutely. It was incredible. I saw our fire chief and our police chief out there for hours and hours, keeping kids from running out from, trying to get the candy, keeping them safe. They were out there grabbing them and moving them back, and it was really nice. Great event.
Yeah, it sure was. Any other announcements? Well, then we'll move into our consent. Item A is a motion to approve Myrtle Beach Tours Beach Games, May 29th through June 25th, 2025. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Are there any discussions? Is there any comments from the public? If not, then we'll close public comment and take our vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. Motion to appoint appointments to the Accommodation Tax Committee. Let's see. I wanted to Mr. Pepper, would you read those names for us?
Sure, Mayor. So the one new appointment for a term that had expired and they met the term limit, so we couldn't reappoint one member of the Accommodations Tax Committee. But the new appointment is Harry Oler, who is common face that's at our city council meetings. So I know he's always been interested in being involved in one form or another. So we thought he would be a really good fit for this committee. And the other three, Tina Carmichael, Tim Duncan, and Patty Hilton, are reappointments. Their terms have expired, and these are just reappointing them to another 2 years.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
Are there any comments? Are there any comments from the public? We'll close public comment and take our vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Under item 6, it's unfinished business. It's an ordinance. Item A is ordinance on the second reading. It's an amendment to the Parkway Group Plan Development District, PDD, revising the preserves. Now, there is a note here that staff has requested to postpone it. I'm going to ask the council, is there a motion to postpone?
Motion to postpone.
Is there a second?
I was just thinking we might have some discussion on this to prevent this applicant, if we do postpone, to prevent him from coming back and us having to postpone this again. If we just move into postponement, then particularly we've given no direction.
Well, let's get it on the table. So
Okay,
we need a
okay.
second. to get it on the
I'll
table.
second to get it on the table.
Okay. Now we can have a discussion.
Okay.
Yes. So who would like to start the discussion?
One thing I have not, I can't find in what's been submitted to us or any of the exterior renderings or elevations.
Those were included. They should have been part of the smaller set.
Yeah, in the smaller set, I see the ones for the retreat, but it did not, or for the, I saw both the front elevations for the Bayberry and the retreat, but I don't see within my package the rear elevations, which would be the motor courts, which is probably going to be the predominant elevation that most people will see.
The rear, there's not much information regarding what's in the rear for the Bayberry has the fronts.
We see, we've seen the front, and as we all know, if we pass this, it has to be built exactly like it was presented to us. So I think our interest is, what does the back of the homes look like?
And that's one of the things that we called out in the comments. There's, You know, in our last time that we wrote this issue paper up for the February 17th meeting, planning didn't have any comments.
Would you speak up?
Sorry, planning, in our last issue paper, planning didn't have any comments for it. And we had seen this January 9th at TRC, and we had presented comments asking for detailed information that was then provided in the February 17th packet, which has then disappeared from this version. There's no information about the landscaping that would be provided. There's no information, the renderings that were in that February version that shows what the backs of those buildings would look like, what the green spaces, what they would feel like. So it's just incomplete in that if we take this to the next stage, the subdivision process, there's no way to then say, oh, you need to provide landscaping in these areas. We don't require landscaping to be provided for duplexes in our regular zoning code. But that's kind of the exchange for the PDD, the higher design element for the flexibility that's offered to the applicant. And I was speaking to him before the meeting, and he said that they removed the landscaping from this version. But this version gets recorded at the Register of Deeds. This is what becomes the entitling document for if it passes tonight. And that's why we requested a postponement. I'm sure that he can get that information to us for the next meeting, but it just needs to be in the version.
What I want to ask is, what I want to ask is, have we given the developer, have we given them a list of what we want and what we're expecting?
Yes,
Have we
ma'am.
handed them that list?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so tonight you want us, why do you want us to postpone it?
Because the landscaping's missing, because there is some ambiguity in the drawings themselves. And let me just zoom in here.
I do know that we usually have landscaping. I don't see the landscaping in here, how many, where you're going to put trees, where you're going to put shrubs, things like that.
At the individual units, the driveways, there's a line, and then there's a space, and there's another line. So which is the driveway? What's the right-of-way? There's two options here in the plan, the 25-foot right-of-way with 20-foot pavement, 25-foot right-of-way with 25-foot pavement. We just asked the applicant to coordinate the pavement width with Public Works with the 25-foot right-of-way. We don't have a 25-foot pavement width in any of our approved street sections in our street planning manual, and maybe that's warranted here, but I would hope Public Works could weigh in on that, knowing that the 25-foot right-of-way is probably going to be passed in this version of the PDD. Just what is the pavement width going to be? It's just ambiguous at this point. So when it goes to the subdivision level, it's hard to say what do we require to be in those drawings.
I think the applicant was willing to do it either way, right? 20 or 25, and I think I brought up 25. I'm not sure if somebody else did too or not, but I understand from staff that that's not a standard width that 22 is. So I'm open to go with 22. We could clear that up pretty easy right now, if everybody else is in agreement with that.
Well, I could agree with it too, but we have a motion to delay it, so.
Well, yeah, but I'm just bringing up things that he can get fixed, so next time we're not dealing with this.
The package isn't complete, so it would record tonight just like it is, and I don't think we should move forward like that.
Well, we have been on this one item at least 4 months, at least. And it is time for us to make a decision one way or the other. I am for delaying it, but I'm not for delaying it the next council meeting. We have other business to do, and we need to take care of our other business. So I am telling you now, whatever you need, then I'm asking Josh if he will get to the department whatever you need. And I would like a list of the changes he has made. Because I'm telling you, everything that we have asked for so far, he has done. And maybe there's some things that you have asked for, he hasn't. But everything this council has asked for, he has done.
He has made all of the requested changes. The detail just isn't in this version.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know the details on it. And that's unacceptable. The small plans like that is unacceptable. We need the whole plans to look at. But that's all I have to say. Anybody else got any comments?
Are we leaving the right of ways to at 25 when he's changed them all from last meeting to make everything consecutive, or are we asking him to go back down to 22?
Well, it was the back of curb was 22, not the right of way.
Right of way would remain 25, but the pavement itself would be 22.
Well,
I think I would just defer that to staff and what we have a standard size for. I mean, I think our goal was to get the separation between the buildings, the 35, and it looks like we, at least in the majority of the versions I'm looking at now, we've gotten there. I think at the end of the day, we just need the complete package.
Well,
and we've had begin with, we had a huge reduction in density, and now with the changes we've requested has resulted in another big deduction in density, or reduction.
He has met the requirements that we asked for with lowering density considerably. So from the original, which was 800, and now it's down to 5. Not quite sure, 5 something.
597.
595. So.
And he removed 16 since our last March 10th meeting.
Yes. So.
It would just take a few tweaks to get this to the recordable form that shows, so we have the predictable outcome for what's going to be built there.
Well, like I say, we have discussed this long enough. It is time for us to make a decision. We will give the staff, it looks like we're willing to give Josh and the staff time for the staff to review and so forth. But we do have a motion on the floor, and we're going to call for a motion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Now, this is for delaying it. All opposed? Then the ayes have it. Item B is ordinance on the second reading. It's a first amendment to the separate and independent amendment to the Parkway Group Plan Development District, PDD. And I think that staff has requested to postpone that because you want to work the agreement along with the changes.
Right.
Is there a motion to postpone?
Mayor, I'll make a motion to postpone both 6B and 6C. They're both dealing with the same subject matter, and both of them been requested by the staff to be postponed.
6C is on a separate.
No.
6A and B.
It's 6A and B, and we just had A.
All right.
That's okay. So you're making a motion
For postpone on B, 6B.
to postpone.
6B, yes.
Is there a second? Are there any other discussion? If not, we will take our vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. So in 2 weeks, we're expecting to bring this back.
It's actually 3 weeks.
Pardon?
The 7th, so 3 weeks from today.
Is it 3 weeks? Okay. Item C is ordinance on the second reading. It's amendment to Chapter 11, Fire Prevention of the Code of Ordinance for North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, addressing the adoption of the most current edition of the International Fire Code. Is there a motion to accept?
Second.
This is all on the second reading. It's unfinished business. I'm going to take item B, E, and F together if it's in agreement with the council.
Did we not get a vote on the last one? Mayor, the clerk has indicated we need a vote on 6C, Allison.
Do what?
We need a vote on 6C.
6C?
C.
D.
C, the one we were just talking about.
We just have a
We just vote, all in favor, say aye. All opposed? Thank you. I was getting ahead of myself. Item D is ordinance on the second reading to approve the Fifth Amendment to the commercial lease agreement between the city and Midcom Cable. Item E is ordinance on the second reading to extend by 1 month the time that the business identified as Rapid Weight Loss and Aesthetic Center may occupy the building located at 1006 6th Avenue South, which was recently acquired by the city. And item F is the ordinance on the second reading, a petition for annexation and zoning designation for 0.86 acres on Riverside Drive. Is there a motion to accept?
Second.
Are there any comments on item D, E, and F? Are there any comments in the audience on D, E, and F? If not, I'll close public comment and take our vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Under new business, item A is ordinance first reading. It's amendment to the Bahama Island Plan Development District, PDD, revising phase 2. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we're opening it up. Who wants to make the presentation? Shep, you're going to make the presentation tonight. No, I really saw the drawings, and I thought that they were good.
Yeah, I think the one thing that you all aren't used to seeing is that two-story product. But when you look at that, what we're calling piano lots that go on the waterway, that's where that product's designed for, because that's going to be an expensive property. It needs more square footage, and the best way to do that is to elevate it and put that parking underneath. I assumed y'all would figure that out, but I just wanted to clarify that that's what that product was. This is a record for me. We took a piece of property that was approved for 1,400 units. We added 25 acres to it and reduced the density by 90%. That sounds like an award-winning
Pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Yes. So we're talking about 137 detached homes, and the lots are anywhere from 7,500 to 10,000 or plus.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
That's correct.
Which is a good project. And I also noticed that the homes, I think the smallest home was 2,200 and something square feet.
That's right.
Up to 5,000 or 6,000 square feet.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a challenging site. As you know, it's got that power line easement, and then we have also reserved the easement for the water line to come through there as well. So with that and the wetlands, it's a challenging site, and I think the result, Rob's group should get kudos. They've done a good job with it. They've really produced something I think we'll all be proud of when it's done.
Does anyone have any questions or comments?
I'm not saying I don't like the project, but it would have been nice to see some 20,000 square foot lots up there by that waterway and a minimum of 10,000 throughout the project.
Yeah, I think when you start looking at the economics of the project's acquisition, as you remember, was originally going to be an RV park, and then trying to reduce that down to make it work for single family, there's just not any room to reduce the density any further than where we're at.
Talk to the next one.
I understand, absolutely.
Kevin, have you had time to review this?
We reviewed this project almost ad nauseum because this is the third or fourth iteration on this same tract of land that have come through. So we're very familiar with this site. We've looked at the current version for single-family construction. And we think we're at a good point from an access and ingress and egress standpoint. I will point out one thing, there is one access improvement that's an off-site improvement that we won't totally control. We're agreeing to have them construct a public road up to the limits of the city of North Myrtle Beach in Horry County, which theoretically connects to another county road. The county may choose to install a gate on their side of that road, but we don't have any control over that, so we really can't make that a requirement in the development for them to do that. Other than that, we're okay with it.
Thank you. Any other comments? I may have missed it, but the street lighting and so forth is, who's in it?
So that's on the developer. That is not a city cost on that. That was one of the adjustments that was made. So the developer will bear the expense for all the street lights.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any other comments? How much open space do you have?
I'm looking at Suzanne because I don't remember what the final percentage was. Do you? Yeah, it's, I think it's more than double the minimum, but I don't remember what the exact percentage is.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, what's the trigger on the amenity? I couldn't.
The trigger on the amenity has to begin at 60 and be complete at 75 total units.
Well, you're certainly going down 137 homes compared to 1,374 condos.
Shouldn't we make the amenity, the trigger on the amenity center 50 since we've made everybody else do that? Shouldn't we make the trigger of the amenity center at 50% instead of, what did you just say it was?
It has to begin at 60 units and has to be complete at 75.
At 60 units?
Mhm.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought you said 60%.
No, 60 units, 60 building permits. Mm-hmm.
Brett and I were looking at each other. He heard the same
Too,
thing.
but if you look at the numbers, that does work. That's probably less than 50%.
We recently went through that exercise.
Okay. Are there any other comments from the council? Are there any comments from the public? Then we'll close our public comments and take our vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Okay, the next one is the agreement. Development agreement.
That's correct, Mayor. And this portion of the meeting is a public hearing regarding the second public hearing for the amendment to the development agreement for the Bahama Island project. And I'll go over the main points of the amendment to the development agreement. The number of residential units in the project is limited to no more than 137. The following fees shall be required for each residential unit: a park enhancement fee of $400, a beach parking enhancement fee of $1,100, and number 3, the public safety enhancement fee of $3,600. The above fees are subject to an annual increase per the formula contained in the agreement. In addition, the above fees shall be paid at the time of application for a building permit for a residential unit. Also, the developer will be obligated to make the following off-site road improvements: the intersection of Old Crane Road and Bowline Boulevard, which will include improvements to widen the inbound and outbound lanes onto Old Crane Road and 3 separate entrances to the project from Bowline Boulevard. The off-site road improvements shall be completed prior to the date on which the developer has applied for the 40th permit for a residential unit. That'll be the trigger for the off-site road improvements. In addition, the developer shall improve the portion of Seaversey Road lying within the corporate boundaries of the city from Bowline Boulevard westwardly, it's hard to say, to the boundary line of the city limits. And that's essentially the main points of the amendment to the development agreement.
Okay. There is a recommendation by staff to postpone the proposed development agreement to track with the PDD. We have already had a motion.
Mayor,
No, we haven't.
that postponement does not apply to this amendment to the development agreement. There is no recommendation for postponement on this development agreement. And this again is Bahama Island, not the.
This is just a hearing.
Yes, this is a public hearing, but after this, we have the actual development agreement for first reading.
Okay.
And Mayor, you may want to open up comments to the public if they
Is
have
there
any
any
comments.
comments from the public? We'll close public comment. So this was the public hearing. We will move to item C. It's the ordinance on the first reading. It's amended and restated development agreement associated with Bahama Island Phase 2, and to authorize the interim city manager to sign the documents on behalf of the city. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Are there any comments, any questions? Are there any comments or questions from the audience tonight? If not, then we will close our comments and take our vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Item D is the ordinance on the first reading. It's the amendment to Chapter 23, zoning of the Code of Ordinance of North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, addressing maximum standards for parking. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. We will open it up for discussion. I was looking this past Sunday, and there's one thing that I would like to address or ask a question on. It says single-family residence, 1 to 5 bedroom, it's 2 spaces per unit. So we're only asking for 2 parking spaces for a house that's 1 to 5?
That's the existing standard in the code. It's been that way for a long time. What this change is about is that, if you may remember, approximately 10 years ago, we adopted a parking maximum in addition to a parking minimum. We've always had parking minimums.
Okay.
But we changed the code to have a parking maximum because what we found was somebody was coming in and if the minimum parking requirement was, say, 20 spaces and they were proposing 40, at that time, we felt like we should have some control and they shouldn't be paving every square inch of their property. So but after we made that change over the years, we realized that issue was resulting in a lot of BZA variance cases from people trying to get variances from that parking maximum because they've worked out their tried and true formula for how much parking they need, and they've found that sometimes our parking maximums just don't work for their business model, and they were coming in and asking for lots of variances. So in order to kind of we've had a lot of opportunity and experience with that ordinance, we've decided that it's probably time to rethink it and get rid of the parking maximum. However, what we did retain is that if you go over the minimum, if you choose to go over the minimum, then all the additional spaces above the minimum would have to be pervious so that they don't negatively impact the stormwater. So that's what this change is about.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other questions? Is there any questions from the public? I will close public comment and take our vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, we'll move into public comment. Is there anyone here tonight that'd like to come before the council and speak? Please do so. We have a limit of 3 minutes for each speaker. And we must have your name and address. Yes.
I did not sign up today, I forgot, I'm so sorry.
So I'm Dana Brown, and I live at 2314 Vera Way in Longs. And I am back to talk about my zip code issue because some new developments have happened, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of that. The scope of the problem is getting bigger. I finally received my voter ID card. I had to request it 3 times. 2 of them went, I don't know where, maybe to the other Vera Road. But when I did get it, it says that I am voting in Myrtle Beach in the Dunes 1 precinct over by the hospital. My neighbor on the same street across from me says she votes in Carolina Forest. So my question is are you guys going to be on our ballots in November? Because I'm not sure we have our precincts set up right. That same neighbor had a daughter just selected for jury duty in Myrtle Beach. Fortunately, they had enough people, so she was dismissed, but I wonder if she had been seated on a case and rendered a verdict, would that have been cause for a mistrial or an appeal because she was in the wrong jurisdiction? Lastly, there's some insurance issues. I decided to go ahead and buy a FEMA flood insurance policy instead of rolling the dice this year. And when I got my policy, it says that I live in rural Horry County. Doesn't say North Myrtle Beach. So I'm not sure if I ever had a claim, would they pay? Because they think I live somewhere that I don't. And that got me thinking about my homeowner's insurance, and they also have me living in rural Horry County. They don't know that I'm on city fire, so am I paying higher rates for that? So it's more serious, and again, we've got some real voting issues, we've got some jury issues, and we've got some insurance issues. So whatever you guys can do to ratchet up the pressure on Congressman Fry and get this settled, or maybe let us out of the annexation, I don't know, but something needs to get done.
And it takes a long time for government to catch up with new developments. But I will tell you this, my tax forms say Hedrick's section of Windy Hill, South Carolina. I don't live on Hedrick's. I don't know what Hedrick's section. I think it was years ago because Hedrick's owned a lot. The lady, she was married. She married a Hedrick, so they owned a lot of that land, and so they named it Hedrick's section. But it takes a long time, and I've lived here since 1974. And
Well,
it's
again,
not changed
I'm worried
yet.
about not getting a claim.
So I think we have to continue working, as we have been doing, to try to get everything caught up that we are the city of North Myrtle Beach. These residents live in North Myrtle Beach, and it should be called North Myrtle Beach. We're working on that.
I know. Like I said, hurricane season's coming, and like I said, I bought this policy, and I don't want to be told, well, your form said you don't live there, and now we're not going to pay because you don't live where you said you lived. You know, I gave them my zip code, and I tried to explain the situation, but they still put it down as the wrong thing. And maybe the answer is you need to unannex this. I don't know. I mean, we can't, like I said, I don't even know if you guys are going to be on our ballots in November. If we're voting in Carolina Forest and in Myrtle Beach, I don't know that you guys are going to be on there.
You won't be. Angela, you can answer this question better than anyone because you worked over in Conway forever.
Yes, ma'am. I spoke with Dana before the meeting and offered to help her with this situation with the voting. I can work with the voter registration office. That's really not a city of North Myrtle Beach problem, but I assure you I will get that straightened out. We're going to meet this week, right?
Yeah, I have to get the address of my across-the-street neighbor because all the numbers don't match. All right, well, I just wanted to let you know it's gotten bigger.
Well, and let me tell you about Angela. Angela worked the whole entire county because she worked for Horry County in the election division. So she knows what to do and how to do it, and she will make sure that our residents have a place to go vote and that they will have the correct ballot. ballot.
That would be great. And if the insurance thing too, because in case my house gets wiped out this hurricane season, I'd really hate to find out that, yeah, Ms. Brown, you gave us the wrong information, and sorry, we're not going to pay. So, but thank you very much.
I can speak on behalf of the issue with the flood insurance. The community number, before that was annexed in, obviously, those numbers signify what the flood map you're associated with. So before the city annexed it in, it was in the Horry County flood map. Since we've now annexed that area in, it will be part of the North Myrtle Beach mapping section, but that's on FEMA to update their maps so that it includes that area with that community number. Wouldn't affect anything other than, CRS rating. You actually probably will get a lower rate when that number gets updated because the city does more in the community rating system to.
That's right, and I think I'm paying more for homeowners now because I'm not getting credit for having North Myrtle Beach fire.
Right, so
I'm paying
we'll
more
reach,
money because this is not resolved.
Again, but it's not like it's our number, it's federal government. Again, we'll reach out to FEMA and see what needs to happen to get their maps updated so that the number is.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to let you know the problem, and the jury thing, I don't know what's going to happen with that, so.
Thank you. Are there any other comments? No? Okay, well, we'll close our public comment. Thank you all for being here. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you.